Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Ben Capozzi with Broad Shoulders Farm in beautiful Sutherland, Virginia in Halifax County. Today is Friday, May 14th, 2021, and I am out in the orchard on my way to the paddock where we're getting ready to move the birds, hopefully this weekend if I can find some help. And I just want to talk a little bit about the next paddock where they're going. I got it mowed and taken care of here, so it's ready to receive them. If you follow us on social media, you know there's just kind of the brush hog debacle. I got it here to the farm. I rented it. It's like $100 a day. I got it to the farm. Used it for about 2 hours. Got a lot done. Paused. That was my mistake. Never paused with rental equipment. And then it slipped a chain, which is beyond my ability to fix. I took it back to the repair shop, or the rental unit, which is like 20 minutes away. Drove back to town, took care of that. They fixed it, brought it back, and I didn't even get it off of the trailer. Had to rent a trailer too, before it slipped off the chain again and broke a sprocket. And anyhow, it just sucked. But I did get some done. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'll show you guys what I got done and talk about excuse me, what's going to happen here in this orchard, or in this next part of the paddock where the laying flocks are going to next. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the May and September paddock. Goes all the way back there next to the rooster run, which is there. So it goes all the way back to the back there, down to that corner down there. It's the smaller of the 4 paddocks that we rotate the birds through, but it's still pretty good. It has the least amount of cover and interesting things in it. The best spot is back there where the apple trees are, where the kids are right now, and that is the April, August, and November paddock. So they're in there a lot, which is good because there's a lot there for them. Lots of shelter and lots of forage, but we're building all that here in this paddock as well, and you can see where I got a lot of the mowing done. This is a row of mixed Trent berries and blueberries and elderberries, so I made sure to mow around that. I'll talk about that more in a minute. This is sort of the main vein, or the main row that goes through here, that is a mix of, there's a plum here on the corner, I think it's a methley, and then there's alternating persimmon and apple and pear all the way to the back, all of which ripen in September. And then this row, a little unplanned, as I was mowing, I saw that I had still placed some stakes in the ground here, because the whole thing was as tall as that dock is up there. So you see why I had to rent the brush hog, which is a great tool when it works. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It does a ton. But I started going through here and I found stakes. There's a stake right out there we'll go and look at, and I was like, what did I have in here? And I remember that I did take a couple whacks at building this paddock out before I settled on the final plan with this kind of outer border. But when I got to these stakes, this is just junk. This is a branch that fell from this great pear tree here, which produces pears very late in the season. Like in December, it's still loaded. Good Asian looking variety, some kind of, wild hybridized thing. But I found these stakes and I was like, well, if I got a stake there, it means there's something here. What is it? And so I would dig down, and of course, there's a hazelnut. I think that's a hazel. I did plant hazels in here. So I need to dig that up later this year, but there was another stake and another. So I was like, okay, let's not necessarily just cut this whole path out, but I will be moving these because this whole path is supposed to be clear right here. This is a lane, that's a major row. There's another lane, there's a major row. The outer border is this row right here. So the fencing goes, the electric fencing, the electric poultry netting that comes in here will go to the outside of that. And what, you may ask, is in this row? Well, this row is a mix of early ripening American persimmons and Soon, those hazelnuts will be moved here. There are other hazelnuts that I planted, though I haven't seen them doing particularly well in here, and black locust. And the black locust, and I've also got river locust I'm planting in here as well. Different species, similar benefits. The persimmons and the black locust come all through here. The persimmons provide forage for the birds late in the season. They are early ripening persimmons, so they should produce an edible fruit in September. I think it's a version from Alabama or Arkansas called Weber, and then there's 2 Proc, P-R-O-K, which is a very well-respected American variety that gets all its business done well before frost. So they're here in this part of the orchard. These are some black locust shoots that I dug up over winter and tried transplanting. This one clearly didn't make it. Others seem to have done better, but I have a whole bunch of black locust seedlings that are about 2 feet tall from the Virginia State Nursery that are going to go in here. Hoping to do that this weekend. You can see kind of the clouds gathering. It's going to be an overcast weekend with some rain coming on Sunday, which is perfect, light rain for planting weather. So try and get all this planted out, but there's the Weber persimmon. Looks like something's been rooting around there at the base. But there's the Weber. The Weber was just put in here like last month or so, but the 2 Procs went in before Christmas. So there's one of them. The other one is right here. I think I planted them 12 to 15 feet apart. What's going to happen with all of these rows is I've got to come in here with either a weed whacker, which seems to waste, a scythe, which I don't have, or just brute force, and crimp all of this down and cover it with hay. And I have more than 100 bales of hay, which I got explicitly for this kind of work in the orchard. So that's probably what I'm going to do, is just come out here and just start dumping the hay bales on it to start to form an actual nice kind of mulched understory as these trees get higher. That's the plan. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. These are the devils getting ready to move. They came into this paddock here on April 15th, so it'll be 30 days tomorrow, and I'm trying to do this on a 30-day rotation. As you can see, they still have a ton in here to eat. Plenty of greens. It's like they barely touched the back there. And the trees that I planted in here are doing well. They've got persimmons and pears and apples. And of course, these established apple trees. Mystery variety, don't know what they are. The knowledge of what they are went when my wife's grandfather passed, so who knows. But I do know enough apple people that maybe this year I can get really good pictures and talk to some friends and see if we can get a positive ID on them. I do know they're excellent apples. All of them were excellent. Tasty, delicious, dessert style, but just wonderful. They probably are good multi-purpose apples too. The only trees or fruit-bearing orchard kind of shrub or plant that was in here when I got here was this stand of native wild American elder. These are elderberries. And it was kind of a big thing here, a larger kind of space, and I've been cleaning it up. And though I feel like it gets bigger every year. And if you remember, I either took photos or did a video on it, but I came through in the winter and took cuttings. I just chopped down these canes and then took like foot-long segments, and I stuck them all over the place. In fact, this fence is off. I'll show you exactly what I did, just if you missed that video. I came in and I stuck them into the ground at the beginning of winter and left them to set roots and flowers. And if I can find one, I know they're working, I just got to find the row. Ugh. I set them like every 3 or 4 feet. Well, there's one, but looks like the chickens got to it. Here we go. Here's one. Boom. So there's one. Boom. Here's another. Right. There's not one here because there's this wild persimmon, which I'm going to let do its thing. Hopefully it's a female. Persimmons are sex, so they're dioecious, so male and female. If it's a male, no problem. I'll just graft it over to a female variety. Where would the next one of these be? Somewhere in this row, but they seem to have done well. Here we go. Boom. Here's another one. And that's how you propagate elder. I mean, I guess you can do it from seed too, but the easiest, quickest way is from these seed cuttings. Hi, Hamburger. How are you? Love you, love you. Hi, baby. Hi, guys. Is that Pearl? Hi, Pearl. A random whiting roo. These guys are getting ready to move over here. And my big concern with this area is that the quality... Oh, elder cutting. Boom. Elder cutting. Boom. So... If you need to propagate elder, I hope to be selling cuttings at some point in the future. Get some revenue. This farm needs to generate some income. So I had this wild stand. These all fruited back in August and September last year. So they are where they need to be for the rotation for the flock this year. That's actually the main row. So these probably need to come out. I didn't mow over them completely because I don't know about you, but like I feel like even though I have so many, I still kind of treat elder like they're precious, which is not ridiculous, but it can be silly. I mean, you can use them perfectly as a chop and drop, as a mulching crop. And as you can see, I've got tons. And in fact, in professional commercial management of elder orchards or fields, as I understand it, once the trees are established, they get mowed all the way to the ground every year after fruiting season. So I'm not really killing them by doing this. But what I would like to do is come back in here and dig up these ones and dig up some of these. I mean, I'm gonna let some stand because our summers here get really freaking hot. Like in April, May, June, July, like, you know, the birds are gonna be in here later this month. It's May, hopefully tomorrow, but our summers get hot. So if the birds are back in here August and September, it could still be quite warm. They need overhead protection. So I'm happy to leave part of this stand and not really thinning this out. Eventually I'll thin this out to just like maybe one big shrub, maybe two. I've got a Bergamble oak back here, which probably needs more light. I know it does. So I need to come in here and clear this out so that it can shoot up. But I try to put a nut tree in all of the paddocks as well, whether that's a hazel or a black walnut or an oak. There's one of our new heirloom apple trees. And they all did well in here, except for, I don't know if this one's going to make it or not. Actually, I haven't performed a scratch test. I need to see. I don't think it's dead, but I think it's not well. I know it's not well. This is Magnum Bonum, which is a great variety that I want to do well. I know that it took some damage from maybe rabbits or voles or something last year. And it looked like, you know, it leafed out here this year, but doesn't seem to be doing too great. But, I mean, that's alive. I can see there's green there. If I do the scratch test, there's green there. So I'm hoping that it will leaf back out. I'd hate to lose it. Have to buy it all over again. And I mentioned to you that this row here is a mix of blueberries and Trent berries and elderberries. That's how it was planted out last winter. Problem is I didn't protect it much. Obviously. And I cannot for the life of me find the Trent berries, and I've only found one of the blueberries, and it is struggling. It is struggling. So I need to come in here and mulch all this down to retain moisture and eliminate competition. And I planted them like on, I think, 7 and 10 foot spacing. So honestly, the Trent berry should be down here somewhere. Trent berries are a combination between huckleberry and blueberry, and they fruit at the right time for when I need them in this paddock, but I believe they have been swallowed up in here. When I come in here and, you know, get down on my hands and knees and do a bit more work to see what's what, maybe I will find them. That would be great. They weren't cheap, given the size of the plants, but c'est la vie. And then, so that goes all the way down to here. we're gonna keep working our way down there. But I did want to say up here, next to the roos, I really want to come in and mulch all of this and even maybe give it a light tilling to bust it up some. But I want to do a nice run of asparagus up here. I'll talk about planting asparagus in another video. People do a lot of things to make preparation for it, but I'm convinced that you can do it a different way with a lot less work. So we'll see how that goes, but I would like to get a nice run of asparagus up here. That would make me happy. Plant some more fruit trees on the outside, some espaliered fruit trees, maybe some more apples, just knowing that they'll never get, you know, really out and bushy and big and 15-foot, you know, spread circumference all around, but instead they'll be trained against the fence. I've still got some to plant. I've got a Hughes, Virginia crab, and some others that would be just lovely over here. So that's on the agenda. One thing I noticed when I was in here mowing all this down, and again, I took videos and showed some of this stuff. You know, I sowed all of this with just crazy cover crops, sowing kale and turnips and radish, and other things last fall and winter. And the turnips are still in here. I mean, as I was, now, they're very light, kind of pithy, probably. So I don't know if the chickens are going to be interested in them at this point, but they've definitely set tons of seed. And I'm hoping that those, right, so see all these seed pods? These rat tails here. I'm really hopeful that I won't have to sow turnip in here again. But we'll see. And I don't know if the chickens are going to be interested in them at this stage. You know, they may be too dry and uninteresting for them to really get much enjoyable forage out of here. So this pasture may just be a place that they're hanging out in for the month and improving with their labor without really getting a really great return until, you know, another year or so, when it's more established, when there are more plants for them to really enjoy. But I'm just not sure. Yeah, when I was coming through with the tiller, not the tiller, sorry, the brush hog, I mean, it was just like a minefield of these things out here. But you can see they're kind of mealy. I don't know if the chickens will be interested in them at this stage or not. Here's one of the persimmons. This one is maybe Ichiki Kaijiro or a variety of Fuyu. I've got it all written down-ish somewhere. I'm letting these thistles set flower. That's perhaps controversial, but I do know that the bees and other pollinators go berserk for those flower heads when they open up. So happy, so visited by them. I also think that milk thistle may be a decent medicinal herb. I don't know a lot about it, but, you know, we'll see. I'm not afraid of it, you know, kind of completely going ham and taking over anything, but that could be naive on my part. We'll see. There's still some wild raspberry that had kind of naturalized up here. You can see this got kind of clipped by the mower. There's still some in the row there. You can see, or maybe it's blackberry. I'm not quite sure. There's tons of it in there, as well as all that poison hemlock, which is not part of this orchard, so the birds are not going to have access to it, but I've got to get in there and get it all clear. I was hoping to do it with the brush hog, but that didn't happen. And I've got one more of these Bergamble oaks down here on this end. It's a small oak to, you know, maybe 15 to 20 feet. Fairly narrow spread as well, maybe a spread of about the same. That produces a really, really palatable acorn that requires like minimal processing. Now, are the chickens gonna like them? I don't know. I hope so. Maybe some of them. Mostly, I'm excited about them. I've got, well, two just in this paddock, as you see, and there's another one way over in the Merrick's flock. And I think that's it. I think it's just those three. But here's another bit of poison hemlock. I gotta come through and chop this. These umbelliferous flowers, which parasitic wasps and things really like, but I can't let this stuff flower and expand. I don't need more of it. Don't need more of it. Whoa, look how big that turnip got. Whoa, look how disgusting that is. That's cool. So this is where the kids are going next here in the next few days. I think I'm just gonna do maybe even one length of fencing, one down, one over, and one up. I'm not sure if it'll make it, but I don't know if I'm gonna do a line here or actually just let this be the actual side of it. I'm not sure. I've got to come out and measure it again to make sure, but that's where we are. There's sweet Ellis. Hi, Belly. All right, that's my cue. I gotta go. Questions, concerns, comments, helpful critique, always welcome. Pats on the head for Ellis. Definitely a thing he's into. All right, wherever you are, I hope that you are happy and healthy. Please continue to be so, and I will catch up with you all later. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.